good morning. We are Lindley Creek. I'm going to introduce this to you really quickly. Over there playing the guitar is my mom, Kathy. Standing next to her playing the big old upright bass is my dad, John Robb. Standing over here playing the mandolin is my little sister, Katie. My name is Jace. That makes us Lindley Creek. And we are here this morning for two reasons. First of all, we are here to praise and worship God as a family of believers. And the second reason we're here is to have a good time while we're doing that. And those are both allowed in the same place. Yeah. David said, I was glad when they said, let's go to the house of the Lord. I'm sure that's not because he sat there like this all service. I don't think that's what he did. So I want to give you guys permission to enjoy worshiping God together. If we delight in the Lord, then we should never be happier than when we're worshiping Him. So I want to give you guys permission. If you want to smile, go for it. That's allowed. If you want to clap your hands, knock yourselves out. If you want to stomp your feet, go for it. If you want to sing along, try and get in the right key first. That'd be helpful. But we're just going to worship God this morning. We're going to sing songs about His mercy, His goodness, His grace. And I don't think we can just sit here like lumps on a log when we're doing that. So anyway, just join in and worship with us.
Well, Daniel tells about a king long ago who built for all of Babylon an image of gold and set a fire hot furnaces are waiting for you if you don't bow and worship when I tell you to. Read on a little farther about three brave men who wouldn't bow to the idol, no, they wouldn't give in to the king God man. And said, boys, you're through, let's see if your God will deliver you. And through three men down into the fire, bound and cast in the flame that was 7 times higher. They saw Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, but they with them in the fire below. He threw 3 men in, but there were 4 men walking around.
The king Nebuchadnezzar saw that they weren't dead in the fire, and singers one hand on their head. He said, I'm setting you free to worship as your wish, cause there's no other God who can deliver like me.
They threw 3 men down into the fire, bound and cast in the flame that was 7 times higher. They saw Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, but with them in the fire below. He threw 3 men in, but there were 4 men walking around. If you're facing a fire and it's too hot to stand, the enemy's tied your feet in your hands. Remember the story and the lesson we've learned. The ropes outside were the only things burned. When you threw 3 men down into the fire, bound and cast in the flame that was 7 times higher. They saw Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, but they said with them in the fire below. They threw 3 men in, but there were 4 men walking around. They threw 3 men in, but there were 4 men walking. 3 men in, but there were 4 men talking. 3 men in, but there were 4 men walking around. We're going to do a song now that really means a lot to me. I first heard this song when I was going through a really tough time in my life, and it really helped me a lot. And you know, I think the message is really important today too. It talks about trusting God with your life, even if nothing in your life right now makes any sense. I tried to win this war, I confess. My hands are weary, I need your rest. Mighty warrior, king of the fight. No matter what I face, you're by my side. When you don't move the mountains, I'm needing you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give the answers as I cry out to you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you. Truth is, you know what tomorrow brings. There's not a day ahead you have not seen. So in all things be my life and breath. Well, I won't want you alone and nothing less. When you don't move the mountains, I'm needing you to move. When you don't pop the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give the answers as I cry out to you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you. I will trust in you. You are my strength and comfort. You are my steady hand. You are my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand. Your ways are always higher, and your plans are always good. There's not a place where I'll go you've not already stood. When you don't move the mountains, I'm needing you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give the answers as I cry out to you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you. 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 When you don't give the answers as I cry out to you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you.
Well, as you've probably noticed by now, we love doing old hymns, we love doing new songs. We figured out a long time ago that there's a lot of great songs out there, and we can't just get rid of a whole bunch of hymns, and we can't get rid of all of the new songs either. There are some hymns that, maybe aren't that great spiritually speaking, and there's plenty of new songs that aren't that great either, but there are songs in both avenues that are just great, and they have great messages, and that's just kind of what we do as a family. We just find songs that really mean something and we play them. The main thing that we try to always do is just change it up from how people know it. So that way everybody's at least a little confused and they're like, I think I know that song. But we're going to do a hymn now that I just absolutely love. And it's really easy in this country, and especially in this day and age, to think that we can control everything. And then every so often something happens that makes us realize we're not really in control of everything. You see, a lot of people here in America, we like to serve the God of self-reliance. We want to know how to do everything, and if we don't already know how, Google knows how, and it will tell us. And it's got the answer to all of our problems and all of our questions. But sometimes things happen in our life that we don't understand, that Google doesn't have the answer for. And the key to seeing through those things is going to the one who created the universe. God has all the answers, and when we put our faith in Him and we rely on Him, there is always calm, and we don't have to have everything figured out because we know who does. And so we're going to do this song right now. I feel like it's just the central theme to the Christian life is, where could I go but to the Lord? And I'm going to ask you guys to clap along with us on this song because it's just a fun song. And so we're just going to clap along. If you're not sure where to clap, just look at either me or Katie. We'll show you where to clap for a little bit. We need our hands to play our instruments, so we can't keep you going the whole time. You're going to have to be responsible for yourself, okay? All right, let's do this. Hey, great job, guys. You just stayed right in there through the whole song. That is great. A lot of people, they lose their resolve halfway through, but you guys just stuck right in there. And a lot of times what ends up happening is they switch what beat they're clapping on halfway through, and that always cracks me up. They go from like, to like, I'm just like, and then some people, they just clap like all of the beats. They're just like,
well, you don't miss any of that.
yeah, that's right. I'm always impressed by them.
Well, we appreciate you all being here this morning, and I want to thank you and thank your pastor for allowing us to be here. It's a treat for us to get to go back and go to a place where we've been before and meet some friendly faces and some new faces. And I hate to break it to you, but some of you got the same old face you had last time we was here. But anyhow, that's beside the point. But I'm glad that, like those last two songs we're talking about, trusting in the Lord, and you know, where can you go but to the Lord? I think you ought to see the central theme there, that we ought to just trust the God of this universe with everything. And there's too many people today not doing that. And so I appreciate you all having faith and having the belief that the Lord's going to protect you and take care of you and being here this morning. And you know, it's not going to be very long now until we're going to be celebrating Easter. And I want you to think about this with me for just a second. I'm not going to get on a soapbox here, but just for, you know, something to think about. Easter's a little over a month away, give or take a little bit, one way or the other. I can't remember exactly when it falls, but we'll say it's a month away. And it's not the big deal on television yet. It's not the big deal in the stores. They don't have Easter stuff all over the whole place, and there's not only so many days till Easter, but we get that at Christmas. And I'm not against Christmas, don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but Christmas was a great thing, but in my mind, I think Easter ought to get equal billing, because Easter is the time when our Lord and Savior provided a way for us to get to heaven.
Amen.
Now, I understand he had to be born first, but and we could argue about that if you want to argue about it, and one of us will be right and you'll be wrong. But either way, no, I'm just kidding about that. But either way, it doesn't really matter. But my point is, the greatest thing that has ever happened on the face of this earth was when Jesus was crucified, and then when he was finished and they put him on the ground, 3 days later, you know the story, he got up out of that grave. And because he conquered everything that took place there, he did that so that I know that I can go to heaven. And if you don't know for sure today that you know that you're going to heaven, I'd encourage you, make today the day that you get that settled and get that taken care of. So just like my Heavenly Father couldn't stay in the ground, if he'd have wanted to, he couldn't have. There was no grave going to hold him down. There's no grave going to hold me down either.
Ain't no grave. Ain't no Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I head out from the town, I'm gonna get up out of the ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down.
Well, thank you guys so much. It'll be close to 2 years ago, I guess. Katie and I got invited to lead the worship at a ladies' conference. And that was something that we had never really done before. We always do our music with the guys here. So it was it was good for us though. And the basic idea behind the conference was better ways to share your faith with friends or people that you come into contact with. And there were just lots of really practical things that you could use to talk to others about Jesus. And so the name of the conference was The Door, and it was about opening the door of salvation to someone else. And the great thing that I got from all of that is that a lot of times in my own mind I get scared about talking to someone else about the Lord. And I'm afraid that if I don't do it perfectly, I might mess it up for them somehow. Maybe they won't get saved because I don't do it right or I don't say it right. Maybe I'll be misunderstood. And as we're finding out right now, fear is a very strong spirit. And fear can keep us from doing a lot of things that we would ordinarily do if it wasn't for fear. And so I've just tried to encourage myself and others that you don't have to get it perfectly right, but if you reach out to someone, be their friend, care about them, and start the conversation, then one thing can lead to another. But if you never say that first thing, you're not ever going to get anything done. It's one of those deals where I get paralyzed because it has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not perfect. And besides that, if it was perfect, they wouldn't believe it was real. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I wrote this song. It's called Open the Door, and I hope that it'll be an encouragement to you next time that you feel that prompting of the Holy Spirit to go ahead and speak to somebody and just make a connection, because that's the first step.
For those who are in need, open the door for
Well, I'm not sure how many of you guys remember this, but last year when we were here, I was engaged, and I'm no longer engaged because I got married instead. Yeah, thank you. And I even got married to the same person I was engaged to. Yeah, which you can't really take for granted these days. But anyway, my wife is here with us this morning. Her name is Caroline, and she's going to come up here and sing on this next song with us because she has a beautiful voice. And we just love to get to sing with her whenever we get a chance to. So here we have an excuse, and so she's coming right up here. Caroline is actually from Canada. Yeah, way far away from here. Like, I thought Missouri was a long way from here, but she's in a whole other universe by now. But anyway, we just love having her with us. We're going to do an old spiritual song now. And it's a fun song to do. I'm going to put my viola back on that sounds really low. Caroline's going to play this magical instrument over here. It's always in the right key. Yeah, that's right. Never yet has it hit a bad note. So anyway, we're going to do this song together here. Hope you guys enjoy it. 1, 2, 3.
Traveling through this world of woe, there is no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I know dark clouds will never hold me. I know my it's rough and steep, but golden fields lie out before me, where weary eyes don't believe. I'm going there
bam. Didn't she do such a good job? I'll tell you what. I know that my wife loves me, and I know it for so many reasons, but she loves me so much that she will actually go fishing with me. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's true. And in fact, even when that most recent fishing trip we went on was during 20-mile-an-hour winds on kayaks, and she thought she was going to get swept out to sea at one point. But we've been on a few different fishing adventures over the years, and one time we decided to go fishing. I decided to go fishing in the middle of town up in Canada, in this little town called Collingwood. And she was with me. She wanted to catch a northern pike really bad. And so we'd been fishing like for a long time the night before. We didn't have any luck. We got out the next morning, fished for an hour with no luck. Then we moved spots, and on her first cast, she caught this fish. It was 34 inches long. It weighed 11 pounds. It was this giant northern pike. And the funny thing was, we were on like this dog walking trail, and so all these people kept walking all their like tiny dogs by, and they would ask us, you know, like their normal question, like, "Are you catching any?" Because that's what everybody asks people who are out fishing. And we would be like, "Yeah," and then Caroline would hold up this giant fish, and they'd go, "Oh, did you catch that like right here?" And we'd be like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, this is where my dog usually swims." I think they were afraid the fish might have eaten their dog, so that was a fun experiment. But you know, something I was self-conscious of every time somebody would walk up to us, I was worried that they were going to tell us to leave, because I mean, like, there's not a no fishing sign, but I mean, you probably shouldn't be fishing from the dog walking trail. But you know, every single person surprised me, because everybody who walked up there was friendly. And a few people even offered other fishing spots we could try. And then at one point, this guy drives up on his lawnmower, and I thought, oh, this is definitely the guy that's going to tell us to leave. And he was like wearing a hat that had like a fish on it, and he told me like 3 or 4 spots to try. And it just made me realize that day how much, you know, as people, we can forget that this world is just full of people that aren't that different from us, and everybody is really just trying their best in their own way. They might have the wrong way to go about things, but they're still trying their best. And I think that a lot of times in this country today, the media wants us to be so divided. They want us to see other Americans, they want us to see other humans as our enemies and not as our friends. And not as people that we want to reach out and help, but people that we need to stay away from, because they don't think exactly the same as us. And you know, that's a terrible shame, because, you know, Jesus is the chain breaker. He wants to break whatever chain is in our lives weighing us down. And he wants to send us out into the world so that we can break those chains in other people's lives too. But we're never going to get that done if we just shut ourselves up inside of our homes, if we don't talk to anyone else, and if we see the rest of the world as our enemy instead of our mission field. And you know, there is no chain that God cannot break in your life and in the lives of others. Sometimes, though, we can struggle with chains so long that we begin to believe the devil's lies. We believe that we'll never get over it, that that's the way our dad was, that's the way we're going to be, and that's the way our kids will be. And we'll believe that, you know, I've struggled with this thing for too long to give it up, or I'll never be that kind of person. And we'll start to believe that we can't break these chains. And the truth is, a lot of chains we cannot break ourselves. But there is no chain that is too big for God. And he wants us to get that victory so that we can go to other people and say, there is a better way. Let me introduce you to the chain breaker.
Been walking the same old road for miles and miles, if you've been hearing the same old voice tell the same old lies, and if you're trying to fill the same old holes inside, well, there's a better life, there's a better life. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify, testify. If you believe it, if you receive it, if you can feel it, somebody testify. If you got pain, he's a pain taker. If you feel lost, he's a way maker. If you need freedom or saving, he's a prison shaking savior. If you got chains, he's a chain breaker. If you need freedom or saving, he's a prison shaking savior. If you got chains, he's a chain breaker.
Well, thank you guys so much. We've enjoyed being here this morning a whole lot, and it's really been an encouragement to us. We have just come from a place where a lot of people are really scared of everything, and so you guys have really encouraged us just by being here and by being happy to be here. And also from what your pastor said at the beginning, that just really was good for us too to hear, and we appreciate that so much. And my mom wants to say hi. Everyone who remembers Arlene, that's my mom, and she wasn't able to come this morning, and she and Dad are still a little bit farther down into the valley, but she did want to make sure that she said hi. And also, since we were here last time, we have a new CD. This is a CD that we recorded in Nashville, and it's our hope and prayer that through this project it will open doors to other places that we can basically let the light shine the best way we know how, and that's through our music. And we have already been able to see it being used in a lot of different ways. We're going to get the opportunity to sing at Silver Dollar City in Branson for 2 full months this summer. So yeah, we're very excited about that. So if you come up to Branson about any day except Mondays in June, July, and the first week of August, we're going to be there. So anyway, that's a great thing. And we have the new CD with us. We also have those available on a flash drive, and the flash drive has our gospel CD and the new CD on it, both. Or you can just buy one or the other, that's fine. We do take credit, debit, Google Pay, Apple Pay, all that stuff. And Katie also has handmade jewelry at the table, and that's the way our kids make their money. The band kind of pays their expenses, but if they want to go do anything extra, it's from what they sell at the table. So I just would really appreciate it if you would check that out. And Jace wants to let you know what he and Caroline have back there.
Yeah, so I have a whole bunch of window stickers back there. I've got like 18 or 19 different things, and I feel like that's such a great way for our car just to be a passive witness to all the people that it passes in a day. And the stickers are just $5 each, or if you buy 4, you get 1 free. So I usually tell people the more you spend, the more you save. Don't think about it, just trust me. It's a good deal. I also have cedar signs back there. I have one that says, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." I have one that says, "It is well with my soul." One that says, "I know who holds tomorrow." And Caroline is actually really, really talented artistically. Like, she can draw things and such, which I don't really understand at all, because like I'm terrible at that. But she has hand-painted canvases back at our table, and she has one that says "Faith can move mountains." And let's see, the other one she has says "My chains are gone." She's got a bunch of great stuff out there. Those are framed in cedar, and she even signs them, so they're extra special. So anyway, we've got that stuff. We've got time to do one more song for you guys this morning, and like Mom said, thank you guys for having us. We're going to do this song and then turn it back over to the pastor.
Real quick, before we do this song, I just want to remind you, today, our president has set this day aside as a National Day of Prayer.
Amen.
I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if you're aware of that. But I just want to say that I'm thankful that we've got, and I don't agree with everything the man does, but I'm thankful that we've got a man in the White House that at least acknowledges there is a God.
Amen.
And that he's willing to set aside a day of prayer. So I'd encourage you to pray. And I want you to think about this with me because I'm guilty of this. He didn't set aside 5 minutes for prayer. He said this is a national day of prayer. If you get a day off work, you don't take off work for 10 minutes and then go back to work. You take the day. If it's a day of prayer, we ought to be praying all day. Thank you for understanding. The rest of you talk to this lady in the front. She's got this all figured out. I don't know what I didn't say clear enough, but anyway, I just want to challenge you. Pray for our nation. Pray for this world. Pray for all the things that you can think of that you need to pray. And when you run out of things to pray about and you think, well, I've got it covered, turn on the news for 5 minutes, shut it off, and then spend the next hour praying for the jibber jabber that you just heard. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. This is a day of prayer and we need to respect that.
I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in, and then the light from heaven filled my soul. He bathed my heart in love, and he wrote my name above, and just a little talk with Jesus made me whole. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in, and then a little light from heaven filled my soul. He bathed my heart in love, and he wrote my name above, and just a little talk with Jesus made me whole.
Now let us
Have a little talk with Jesus, down all our troubles, where our faith is strong, and by and by, feel the crowd turning, know the fire is burning. Have a little talk with Jesus makes it I may have doubts and fears, my eyes are filled with tears, but Jesus is a friend who watches day and night. I know to him in prayer, he knows my every prayer, and just a little talk with Jesus makes it right.
now let us
Have a little talk with Jesus, tell him all our troubles, hear our pain is cry, answer by and by, feel the cradle turning, know the fire is burning. Have a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Well, alright, well, alright, just a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Well, alright, just a little talk with Jesus makes it
Lindley Creek, thank y'all so much for being here. This has been wonderful. I don't even know what to do now. How should we transition from here? You got any advice? There we go.
Play more.
Play a little something else. Yes, I got to do another song. All right. After this, go sing.